Hi there, hope you're having a beautiful day or evening wherever you are. Sunset time here in beautiful Bali. Amazing as always. So today is the night before Nyepi here in Bali. And tomorrow, what they do is they take the whole day of complete silence. Nobody goes out of their house. There's no planes landing, nothing. And tonight, what they do before that day of purity and cleansing is they have a huge ceremony where they burn effigies of devils or demons, whatever, in order to sort of purge that from their minds, and then they toss it in the ocean after, and then have the day of cleansing tomorrow. So that's quite interesting when we think about the nature of sort of good and evil and darkness. And the discussion that we've been having about how we need to clear out negativity in order to experience true love and compassion in our minds. So let's say, for example, that we have a lot of people around us, or our addictions, our negative thought patterns, our depression, all of this darkness that's experienced, we could look at it as negative thinking. We could look at it as negative attachments to the other people. We could look at it as negative attachments to darkness that's coming in from other realms. Really, it doesn't matter whether you look at it just as your ego or, attachment to something that's darker or bigger. The way we have to deal with it is the same way as we have to eradicate it from our minds and from our lives. Because the true nature of your spontaneous awakened mind is basic goodness and happiness and peace, joy and love. So anything that's not that is not really you. And that's true in any tradition. If you look at Christian tradition, you've got the concept of the soul. Buddhism, Hinduism, the concept of the non-self, the true self, nirvana, paradise, heaven, whatever. All of that means the lack of darkness. So when we go to New Age courses that tell us to love all our negative and disturbing emotions, that's a little bit of a problem. It's actually a big problem because it rests on the fundamental incorrect teaching that your negative, disturbing emotions are part of you and therefore should be loved. And there is probably no teaching in the world more problematic than that one. Because as the Buddhist masters Shantideva and Padmasambhava and the Buddha himself said, the more we pay attention to our disturbing emotions, the more they grow like fire. The more awareness and the more energy we give to them, the more we feed them, when what we really need to be doing is getting them out. Out once and for all. So, as we've talked about before, we don't want to go into hating those feelings, because then we've stepped into hatred, which is just another one of those feelings. But it's so important to set the intention to eradicate negative emotions from your being. Because if you don't have that intention, it can't happen. If your intention is to love them and be all sweet with them, then they will stay. You give them soil to grow, they will grow. Just like your addiction, just like other people who screw you around and make your life a fucking mess, the more you accept it, the more you feed it, the more that becomes your reality. So let's work at starting to make some decisions in our life and get real about what in our life is light and what in our life is dark. It's not about judging other people. It's about getting real on what is taking you up into your most enlightened and highest reality and what is keeping you down or sucking you down further. And it's not that you have to be angry at the other people who hold you down. You just have to stop it. You got to tell them that you won't accept it anymore. And if they don't listen, then you need to remove them from your life until they get it. Whether that's tomorrow, in a month, or never. And it's hard. It's hard to let go of these people. It's hard to let go of our addictive patterns because we've been doing it for so long. But how crazy is it that we say that we're so afraid of change, and yet we're stuck in such a miserable situation? We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of a new relationship, so we stay in the abusive one. We're afraid of maybe we won't find a better job, but we hate the one that we're in. We're afraid that we won't be successful at our new workout plan, so we stay 25 pounds overweight. When you think about it, it really makes no sense. And a lot of it is just inertia and laziness and bullshit. So nobody is going to make magic happen for you until you're willing to take the actions to make that magic happen for yourself. There is no ascending to your highest reality without cutting out all the bullshit. Think about it just from, a mathematical perspective. If what you're trying to achieve is a state where everything is white, then you can't have a bunch of black tar in your mind and in your reality. They don't go together. I said to a client yesterday, it's like wanting your glass of water of your mind to be perfectly clear, and yet then you go and you put things and people and places that are full of toxic ink and drop it in your clear glass of water, then expect to be happy. As the ink, the toxic ink, spreads and becomes more black and more toxic, then you got to work all over again to get rid of the ink and make the glass clear again. And don't we get tired of doing the same old thing? So if we are serious about wanting to be happy, then it has to be more than talk. It has to be action of carving out and discarding the things that prevent you from achieving your highest reality. Many blessings. Send me a message if you need help. Lots of love. Take care.